Hey everyone, welcome aboard to the Sip and Sail podcast. We are your co-hosts, Stephanie and Yashi.
Hello, hello.
Hello, how's
How
it
are you,
going, girl?
Stephanie? Today we are talking about Royal Caribbean and MSC World of America. How do we compare both of them? And we are so ready for the debate with our shirts and
Yes,
sweaters. I
we
have
are.
my MSC sweater on.
Yep, and I've got my Utopia of the Seas World's Biggest Weekend.
Woo-hoo, we
All
are
right,
ready. So cheers, my friend.
cheers to you, and let's get started.
Let's get started.
So, you, not jealous at all, had the chance to get on World America for their christening big trade event, so that you would get to experience the ship for a couple of nights, right?
Yes, I was blessed to be invited by MSC to the World of America inaugural. It was a 3 night event. Trust me, 3 nights were not enough, but it was a great experience. I am so happy to been able to experience this new ship.
That's awesome. So I really feel like, this is MSC's answer to Royal Caribbean's mega ships, right?
Yes.
So tell me, when you first stepped on board that ship, what was your first impression?
My first impression as soon as I walk in was wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
As soon as you walk in, that ship just blows your mind away. It is beautiful. It is nothing we're used to. MSC, they really, really did a good job.
That's awesome. And when you walk in, are you walking right in on that promenade?
Yes, yes. So as soon as you walk in,
Awesome.
you step a little bit inside, and then you have that big, beautiful promenade.
Royal Caribbean has its promenade as well. And they both also have this wide open back end, right? Where on Royal Caribbean, on the Oasis class, it's the boardwalk. Icon class, it's Surfside. What exactly is that on World America, and what's there?
So that's also called the word. That's called the word promenade. So they still put a little bit of the promenade because it really flows into that part. Versus Royal Caribbean, you go a step up and then you walk into the boardwalk. With
Mhm,
MSC, the promenade is 3 floors.
mhm.
So you have that beautiful flow into the word promenade. Now, in the as soon as you walk outside, it's like wow, this is what we want from a ship. So in Royal Caribbean's Oasis class, we have the boardwalk that kind of like covers the sea.
Mhm.
So unless you're like in a top floor from a balcony, you hardly see the ocean. When you walk into the word promenade, your background is the ocean,
Oh, wow.
which is my favorite part. That
Yeah.
is my favorite part of the ship.
How was the pool deck, the kinda activities, we see on Oasis class ships? There's, the water slides and how many pools and hot tubs, and that's kinda on sea days, that's kinda where you are. How was the vibe up on up on those pool decks, while you were on board?
I have to say the pools are huge. They are big size pools.
Yeah.
You have a lot of space. You have a lot of jacuzzis. There's so many jacuzzis in World of America. There's no way to fight over them.
People
You
love those
have
hot tubs.
jacuzzis inside. You have jacuzzis outside. You have them near the water. You have them in the middle by the stairs. There was just many jacuzzis, which it was great to see.
Mhm.
Now, something different than Royal Caribbean does, and this I see this being a problem for some people, is you cannot have your drinks inside the pool in MSC. So you have to
Oh,
step completely out of the pool to be able to enjoy your cocktail. So I think Royal Caribbean still wins with that,
okay.
where we all love to sip our margaritas and our pina coladas inside the water, and you can't do that with MSC.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely part of the culture of being up at the pool deck is, you know, sitting around the sides of the pools, right, with your toes in and having the servers come by and bringing you exactly the pina coladas, the daiquiris. So that's
So you're
interesting that you can't go in the pools on MSC because um MSC, I do think, you know, people are still learning so much about them that they don't find out the things like that until they get on board. And
exactly.
then that makes them kind of take a step back and be like, oh, it, you know, it maybe affects how they're like their mood on the cruise a little bit more than if
Definitely.
you know that you can't have drinks in the pool. Well, you know, it is what it is, and but you're getting maybe this great value, or you're getting to get on this brand new ship for, you know, less than you're going to get on Icon, you
Exactly.
know.
One of the things is they have day beds by the pool. So your mind obviously says, okay, I'm gonna be in that day bed all day. I'm gonna enjoy my margarita. If I get hot, I just get in the water, come back outside. You can't drink in the day bed either. You have to be completely out of the
Yes.
pool area by the chairs in the deck to be able to enjoy your cocktail. Now, something that blows my mind, you can have a drink in the jacuzzi. So we were able to have our drinks in the jacuzzi, but not in the pools. I don't know if
Well,
anybody knows the answer to this. Please let me know. It does not make sense to me, but that is the rule.
that's very interesting. Um, I think another big topic that people really it's a big part of their cruising and is the food. The food on board. Is there a variety of food that we're used to having on like Oasis class? Is it still maybe a little bit more European flared? Is the buffet any better? How are the food options on World America? Because I would expect them to have more options and more variety than just buffet main dining room concept.
Okay, so Royal America has 19 dining venues, and some of them, of course, are specialty restaurants, just like Royal Caribbean has.
Mhm.
They have the sushi, the steakhouse, they have an Italian restaurant. Now they have a Greek restaurant in the Word Promenade.
Mm,
They have
nice.
sushi. They have your main dinings. They have three different main dinings, and they also have the buffet. They also
Mhm,
have little places to get quick snacks around the ship. Like you find the empanadas. You have Jamaican jerk parties in the promenade. You have popcorn. You have hot dogs. They have changed the mindset about bringing more American food to the ships. Before, years ago, we used to see a lot of European food, and then
mhm,
that was a big complaint to us here in the United States. But they have changed the mentality. Now in the promenade, you can have French fries and hot dogs and pizza and burgers, which that's something really neat and good, especially for a person like me. I'm the French fries queen. I love when I was walking the promenade and I saw that they have French fries. I just went there, picked them up, and keep walking with my French fries. It was not
I
time
hear
for
ya.
dinner yet, so that was great. Now talking about buffet wise, I feel the Royal Caribbean still has more variety when it comes to their buffet. We all know the buffet in Utopia and an Icon of the Seas is spectacular.
Yes,
We
agreed.
did see the same food for lunch every day, and
Mhm.
I felt like they needed a little bit
Mm,
more.
yeah,
The last night we tried dinner in the buffet just to see the difference, and they had lobster, they have pork, they have steak, they have like good food. It's
mhm.
just that I still feel Royal Caribbean wins when it comes to their buffets.
I gotcha, and I do feel like, I feel like Royal Caribbean, has stepped up their buffets a little bit more here as
Agree.
well. I can definitely so I can definitely see that. Really, I kind of feel like they're trying to cater as much as possible to the North American market, right? We are the ones that cruise the most out of Florida. You'll always have the you'll always have international cruisers, coming into Florida to cruise, the Caribbean and that. But would you say that they have made um good progress in really delivering what Americans want versus when they first started, for example, with the food, a little bit more European. Same with the shows. The shows were definitely skewed more European. Do you think they're doing a good job in delivering a little bit more of that North American feel that somebody would get on Royal Caribbean?
Yes, they definitely have stepped up. They definitely have made changes. They listen to what Americans want. Again, this has a lot of food varieties that are more catered to us Americans versus European style. You
Mhm,
still get the Greek restaurant, you still have the Italian restaurant, but
mhm,
you also have the American food that we like.
mhm,
We saw rice in the buffet, we saw pork in the buffet, we saw a lot of things, tacos, a lot of things that we also like.
mhm.
Now, when it comes to entertainment, they have a great show is Dirty Dancing. The show
Mm.
is
Oh, I
amazing.
love great. Wait, like the movie?
Like the movie, yes. They had
I'm
the
there. I'm
whole
sold.
Dirty Dancing show. That was amazing.
Really.
I don't think that is as high tech, as high production as Royal Caribbean. Royal Caribbean brings you a Broadway show to the ship. It's
Yes.
still not to those standards, but is 1,000 times way better than what we saw years ago.
Well, and I think that's all we can really ask for, right? Is for this I say new cruise line. They're not new, but they're new to us.
Hmm.
Newer to us. That they just, they cater a little bit more. They upgrade a little bit more. I don't think I, I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn or not, but I don't think anybody can really touch Royal Caribbean's theater Broadway shows.
No.
Whether other cruise lines can have great entertainment, but entertainment is, includes music and dancing, the lot, acts in the theater. But as far as the production shows, um Royal Caribbean they really focus on delivering Broadway style shows with each of their performances. So I don't think I would ever expect MSC to be at that caliber, but it is nice to hear that they're trying to theme it a little bit more around what Americans might be a little more interested in
Yes,
than maybe, an opera, which some people are into opera.
yes.
But
No, but not in a
you
cruise
know what I'm
vacation.
saying.
Come on.
You know
Let's
what
be
I'm saying.
honest. Not on a cruise vacation. The Dirty Dancing show was amazing. It was really good. We all loved it. Everybody
Great.
loved it. It was great. Now we
It's
all
great.
know MSC is great for sorry. MSC is great for their parties. The white party with MSC
Ah,
continues to be one of the biggest things that people love.
okay.
MSC do good. This time was in Ocean K. It was a beach party, and we
Uh,
all know MSC does better when they do
what do you think about families in particular? Now, prices are leveling out, even with Royal Caribbean.
it. Hmm.
But I still have some families. A lot of times they're larger families, right? That are trying to fit, 5, 6 people in their family in one or two cabins at the most. They can still, depending on what they're looking for, they can be pricing out of Royal Caribbean still. And
Yes.
so, do you think that the World America could be a good viable option for those families?
So it definitely can be a good options. We saw rooms where now they can accommodate more people. There was a suite that could accommodate up to six. It has bunk beds in a different area where mom and dad have some privacy. We
That's
have
nice.
seen rooms for five that price way less than Royal Caribbean. Now,
Mhm.
it all depends on what type of family we're talking about. We have families with little kids that might enjoy Icon better. So we can compare Icon to World of America because I feel Icon is more towards little kids. You
Mhm.
have that big surf side
Sure,
area
so
just for these kids. where Royal Caribbean has a small splash pad, but my impression is more for teenagers, more for bigger kids. The
Okay.
water slides, the swing, the jaw dropped slides, those things are more for bigger kids than maybe toddlers, where
Mhm.
these families are going to have more fun and icon. Now when we compare it to an Oasis class, it's definitely good for families that are looking for that big room to be able to spend it together, and I do believe World of America will get them a better deal when it comes to prices.
Yeah. Yeah. That I mean, that totally makes sense, and, everything from what I'm seeing, like, let's just talk about that swing for a moment on World America. What the heck? I saw your video, of you on the swing, and I was like, "What the heck is that?" But at the same time, I was like, "That looks like fun. That looks like something I could do," and I am not an adventurer.
You would do it. It was
But
so
it
much
looked
fun.
really cool. It looked really cool. Tell
Is
me
it
about that.
scary at first? The
Yeah.
cliffhanger is scary at first, yes. But once you're sitting there, you feel secure. I
It
think you
loo
feel great. You will
it
swing.
looked secure,
Mhm.
but, like, at the same time, you're hanging off the
But
edge
at
of
the
it.
same time, it's scary. I'm not gonna lie. It comes to a point that you look down and you're like, "Oh my god!" Like, but we did it 3 times, so that could tell
You did
something.
it 3 times.
We tried
Oh
it
my
once
gosh.
in Ocean Cay, and then I had to try it in the middle of the ocean. So I'm like,
Oh,
no, I have to do it again tomorrow. And I tried it the next day, and then I was like, this was so good. I need to do it again. So I went back in line and did it.
okay, so 2 questions about that. Number 1 is do you pay for that?
Yes. So
Okay.
it's gonna be $5 for each
Oh, that's
time
nothing.
go on the cliffhanger, which I don't think is bad price. Also,
No.
they don't take a video, so we thought because we see a camera in the front, a video was gonna be taken. As of right now, there's no video, but they do take pictures, and then
Okay.
they're gonna sell you the picture afterwards. If you got the photo package can include the pictures.
Okay. Alright. And then the second more fun question is, which one did you if you were only gonna do it once, even though for $5 it's nothing, would you do it at a port like you did for Ocean Key, or would you do it on a sea day in
Definitely
the
a
open
CD.
ocean?
Definitely a CD. I love the
Yeah.
view. And it was awesome. It was awesome because you feel at port, you're still swimming outside the ship.
Uh-huh.
But when you at sea is when you felt the more. Like, oh my God,
Uh,
I am seriously outside of the ship.
well, that makes sense because the ship is moving and there's more wind and as you're going, and then I imagine, all you see is open ocean.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. The
So,
view is amazing.
yeah, that would scare me.
Yeah. No, you will love
What a fun time.
it. We gotta try it together.
Oh my gosh,
I'll do it
absolutely. I know. Well, now I'm like, okay, well, I need to experience World America.
definitely.
Now
Definitely.
we already have fall plans on MSC, but it's not World America. We're going
Yes.
back on the seashore, which is
And
out of Port Canaveral, and we're going to be in the yacht club.
definitely. I cannot wait
So
for that. I'm so excited about the Jack Club. We
that's
toured the
my
Jack
vibe.
Club in MSC World America.
Oh,
My
you did.
first impression about that was I feel that it had a lot of seating and the pools were small in the area. I don't know. I expected a little bit more.
Mm. Mhm.
I am very interested to see how it is on the seashore. And then we can compare the seashore
Yeah.
versus we saw in World America.
And that brings up a great point is a lot of times, um, as they bring in these newer ships, they'll add in more suites. Or
Yes.
for MSC's case, they'll add in more cabins inside of that yacht club. But is the outside deck space still the same? Is it bigger? Will it hold? We see this on every ship. Even Celebrity does it in the retreat. Their newer ships, they've got a couple of more, suites, or, they hold a couple of more people. But then, the retreat still kind of about the same size.
Exactly.
So
So
that'll
I'm
be
interested to see how it looks in MSC Seashore, and then I can compare it because I've never been to a yacht club besides World America when we toured it this time. I don't have nothing to compare it with, so that I
yeah.
can't give you information. But once we experience in it and we can see exactly how we look, then maybe we can talk about
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we'll have to do a whole yacht club
it.
episode and talk
Definitely.
about it when we get
We
back.
should record while we're there
Or
for
we could
everybody to see
record
how
we
we
could record while we're there.
exactly.
That would be awesome. Have you started seeing more interest in MSC?
Definitely. MSC is
Yeah.
one of my top suppliers. It continues to be my top supplier as of right now. As soon as the ship came on board, a lot of people has been requesting it, asking information. Again, is the price a good point? Includes the drink package, includes the Wi-Fi. Something to always keep in mind when we
Yeah.
talk about this drink package is MSC made changes this year where the drinks are not unlimited. Alcohol drinks are only 15 drinks, just like Carnival does.
Mhm.
So that's something to consider. But the big question that a lot of people are asking is, would this force Royal to lower their prices?
Mm.
Now,
Good question.
we are asking those questions ourselves. We have
Yeah.
seen prices drop. Honestly, I've seen Star of the Seas dropping.
Yeah.
Um, I
Yeah.
saw I priced an icon yesterday, and I think the price was a little better. I don't see Royal Caribbean dropping the price to be exactly as what MSC is offering.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because Royal Caribbean is Royal Caribbean. They know the product that they have, they know the private island that they have. And we have some loyals to Royal.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
we can expect people out there can expect the prices to be 100% the same. They're never gonna be, and it's very important when we're booking MSC is that we understand what we're getting. Yes, it's a beautiful ship. Yes, the service has been better from 2 years ago. Yes, the food is good. Yes, the entertainment is great. Yes, you're gonna have fun, but we cannot tell you that is 100% what you're gonna get with Royal Caribbean. So it's
Correct.
very important for people to understand it is comparable. Yes, we can compare them. They both great at what they do. MSC has improved, but it's definitely not Royal Caribbean.
Well, and I think from the travel agent side of things, when we're servicing your reservation, booking your reservation, um, MSC has, again, I think it's kind of consistent with their brand. They're getting better, but they are not up to Royal Caribbean standards for sure.
For sure.
So do not be surprised when you ask for a name change and you're not allowed to do it without paying a fee. It's that kind of stuff, right? It's the
Exactly.
fine print, which using a travel agent helps you guide you through those things to make sure when you're choosing between MSC or Royal Caribbean, you have all of the details to make an informed decision. Because, again, at the end of the day, we talked about this on episode 2, which if you haven't watched that,
Please
go
do.
ahead and watch that next, or listen to it. But we talked about our Norwegian Aqua cancellation, and we talked about travel insurance, but we also talked about the value of a cruise, and bottom dollar pricing is not something that you really should be looking at. It's an overall value for your money,
Exactly.
right? And that, again, comes with what are the policies with MSC for cancellations, changes, what have you, and what are the policies with Royal Caribbean?
Exactly. And
Because they are
what are you
different.
gonna pay afterwards? What do you need to purchase on board? Was included with the drink package? Was not included? There's a lot of questions, especially with MSC. There's three different experiences, so everybody has to understand what the Bella, what the Fantastica, what the
Yeah,
Aria is, because
yeah,
this is where we see first time cruisings doing mistakes and then complaining about it while they're on the ship or while
absolutely.
we get up. The biggest thing is understanding what you're purchasing.
Yes.
And that's what we
That is key.
do.
Exactly. And that's why you use a travel agent.
Exactly. That's what we use a travel agent. That's why we travel so much. We
Yes.
don't travel just to have fun. Like, this is not fun. We walked all day. We had to try food all day. We
Yep.
had to try it all. We're taking videos, we're taking pictures, we're making notes. We're
Yeah.
running like chicken with no head from one room to another so
Mhm.
we can see it, so we can answer your questions. So when you guys see us traveling, is not that travel agent is always traveling. She's sitting in the pool sipping margarita. Maybe I took a picture in the pool, but I didn't last 5 minutes in that pool.
Absolutely. That's what we're doing, right? We're getting the pictures, we're getting the videos, but you don't see us running around doing all the cabin tours, trying out all the venues, and our feet kill at night.
Kill, definitely.
They definitely do.
We're sweating. We're running to the room. Okay, wait, now we got to change again because we got to do something else. Yeah, it is a lot of work, but we do it to give you guys a better service. So we're here for those questions. Ask us the questions. We're here to help you out and help you understand what you're booking. Not every cruise
Absolutely.
line is the same, and not every ship is the same. So please start listening to what people are saying over there. Royal Caribbean is comparing, they're the same. They're not the same. They're two different companies, they're two different ships. They offer two different services.
Absolutely.
Guys, I guess this is all for today. Thank you for sipping and sailing with us. If you are enjoying this episode, please don't forget to like and subscribe in our YouTube channel.
Yes, and if you're listening to us on the go, you can download the Sip and Sail podcast anywhere that you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, all the places, and keep an eye out for episode 4. It will be coming. And until then, cheers, Yashi, to another
Here
great episode.
to another great episode. See you soon, guys.
Bye.